What's up, YouTube? You checking out the Frequent Flyer, and this is my review of the JJRC JJ1000. And this is the quad right here. Now, this is part 2 of the JJRC 1000A Lightning UFO. And if you've been watching and following me on my channel, you know that the 1000A was one of my favorite micro quads. That thing is awesome. It was my favorite outdoor flyer. It was came in my top 5 indoor flyers. It's just an awesome flyer. I really like the way it flies. And this thing right here was a must for me because of how much I like the 1000A, and they really didn't disappoint. They didn't mess it up. They did add headless mode and 1 key return, but they didn't mess up the other features and characteristics of this quadcopter that makes it awesome. So this is a very nice sequel to the 1000A. It actually flies just like the 1000A, except for it has a faster yaw. They fixed some other issues that it had as well, like the props. The props used to come off sometimes with the 1000A. With this one, the props hardly ever came off. I don't think a prop has ever came off on me during a crash or whatever. So they did a really good job at that with the props not coming off. Let me get the camera to focus. Yeah, it's a really nice quadcopter. They didn't really make any changes to the design. This is the 1000A here. So let's look at it. I think it's the exact same shell. You should be able to just swap shells if you want it with these quadcopters. They're made, the mold is exactly the same. The props look the same, but the props are still the same. The battery compartment is still tight. I guess that's one of the cons that they didn't fix on this thing. They didn't fix the battery bay. The battery bay still fits the battery pretty tight, but I can get up to a 350 milliamp hour battery in here, but it becomes hard to take out. It's easy to push these things in, but it's hard to get them out. I usually don't like pulling on the wire, so I usually get a screwdriver or something to stick in there and sort of pry it out like that to give it some give you some room to grab at it and pull it out of there like that here. So yeah, this was a 300 milliamp hour battery that I had in there. See if I could get the camera to focus on that. I don't think it's going to focus on it because it's this shiny material that's, oh, there it is there. So it's a 300 milliamp hour battery I had in here. I have been able to get a 350 milliamp hour battery. It's pretty much the same size, and it doesn't really affect the flight performance too bad in a negative way. But it comes with a 300 milliamp hour battery. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, the 1000A came with a 250 milliamp hour battery. But yeah, this thing is a really nice flyer. The yaw rate is a lot faster. The transmitter, I don't really know how this transmitter stacks up to the older transmitter for the 1000A, because I always bought the 1000A bind and fly. So I don't know how this transmitter matches up to the other one, the old one. But this is a pretty nice transmitter. However, at 100% rates, you get the constant flipping with the extreme inputs on the right stick. So that's a negative. I hardly ever use this transmitter actually, because I'm not a fan of headless mode or the 1 key return. And this is on the same protocol as the 1000A, so it is on the WL Toys V2X2 protocol, and so you can fly this with those transmitters, and you can get this quadcopter in headless mode if you use the V636 transmitter, but I haven't been able to successfully get the 1 key return to work with that transmitter. But that feature is just, it's not a good feature anyhow. Now with the stock transmitter, this button here puts you in the headless mode if you hold it down, and this button here puts you in it executes the 1 key return. But actually what that is it just makes the quadcopter just fly backwards, full input. It don't spin around towards you or remember a heading or anything. It just flies backwards really fast into the ground if you don't catch it or stop it. But as soon as you give input on the right stick, it stops that. It turns off the 1 key return, so you can correct it if you happen to test that out to see what it does. But it just flies backwards. It's useless. The headless mode works well if you like headless mode, and you can execute the headless mode when you're in 100% rates, and it won't constantly flip if you hit the right stick for input while you're in headless mode. So if you like to pirouette really fast, you can do that in headless mode on 100% rates. Another thing that I almost forgot to let you guys know about this transmitter, the rates, as the rates change, the yaw changes. And so in low rates, beginner's mode, the yaw is very slow, and in mid rates, the yaw is a little faster. The yaw is about the same speed as the 1000A in 100% rates. On this one, mid rates, it's about that fast. But then when you go into 100% rates is where you see the faster yaw with this quadcopter. But you can't fly it without constantly flipping if you give full input. So I think that was really stupid for them. You can't really utilize the faster yaw rate with this transmitter unless you go to expert mode, which has constant flipping. I don't know why they put that there when they actually have a flip button here. You know, why ruin your experience with your 100% rates by adding auto flip when you have a flip button? It just doesn't make sense to me. But anyhow, if you hold this shoulder button down, you can toggle the LEDs off and on. And yeah, this transmitter it's okay. It has all the trim, fine trims here, adjustments. It takes 4 AA batteries, but I really don't like that. I would recommend flying this quadcopter with the WL Toys transmitter, the V636, or the H8C. I really think the H8C is a better choice because you get a constant yaw rate between all the rates, and it's a fast yaw rate. So if you would like to fly this quadcopter with a fast yaw rate and low rates and all the rates, and as well as have 4 different rates to choose from, I would recommend the H8C transmitter. It's a better transmitter for this quadcopter. It should come with that quadcopter because it's made by JJRC. So I don't understand why they don't use that transmitter. That's an awesome transmitter for this quadcopter. However, I haven't been able to put this quadcopter in headless mode with that transmitter. But yeah, oh, the lights are the same. I was thinking that maybe the lights were going to be green and blue, because someone said they got they ordered a 1000A bind and fly, and they actually ended up getting a better version which had all the characteristics of this version, but except for it had green LEDs. So they had me on a hunt trying to order binding flies of this thing. I must have ordered about 4 binding flies, and they all turned out to be the same one. So I got 4 of these things floating around. But thank goodness they brought this thing out, because this has all of the fast yaw and everything that they were talking about. And but the lights aren't green on this one. No green LEDs in this one. let's see, it came with a nice instructions manual. The instructions manual is pretty legible. It's in English and it's in Chinese. It came with a prop guard, which works well, but the prop guard seems to add a lot of weight, so it affects the flight characteristics a little too much for me. So I really don't fly it with that on. But if you're a beginner and you want to fly this thing indoors, this will be the way to go. And it comes with an extra set of spare props, a USB charging cable, and that's all I have to say about it. Let's go check this thing out in flight. Okay, so this is the indoor flight demo of the JJRC JJ1000, and we're going to be flying it with the stock transmitter. You bind it to the transmitter, and so you can see right off, this thing is a really stable quadcopter. Look at that. Hands off hover. Wants to fly forward on me a little. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna trim it a little. Two clicks on the forward trim. And there it is. Pretty stable now. So we're in low rates now. This is the yaw rate. Super slow yaw rate with the stock transmitter on low rates. This is the pitch here. So it's pretty docile. But I guess that's the way it's supposed to be on low rates. So here we are on mid rates. A little faster yaw. The yaw is about as fast as the JJRC 1000A on high rates. But this is mid rates on this one. This is the pitch here. Okay, now let's go to high rates. Okay, this is high rates. Now the yaw is pretty fast on this one. About as fast as the yaw is on 100% rates on the WL Toys transmitter that I have. So pretty fast yaw. You can actually almost spin around on one motor pod with it. Okay, now let's check the flips. Now here, any extreme input on the right stick will give you a flip. So not a big fan of that, but what can I say, it's there. Now there's a button here, the camera button and the video recording button. If you long press them, they actually activate other functions. So we're going to try the one on top, the camera button, a long press. Oh wait, that it wasn't supposed to do a flip. But I think that was me on the input. I was trying to stop it from hitting the wall there. So let's try it. Let me get it stable. Okay. It did a flip again. That's odd. I don't understand that. Maybe that button actually is the one key return button. It actually just flies backwards. Full pitch actually. So I'm guessing that hitting that button and while I'm on high rates is causing it to do the flip, because it's like an extreme input backwards to me. So now we're going to try it again on mid rates. Yep, that's exactly what it was. So you can see the one key return on this thing is pretty much garbage. All it does is fly this thing backwards at top speed towards you. Or backwards, it can be facing the other way and it'll still fly backwards that way. It doesn't necessarily come back to you. And I found that this feature does not work in headless mode. So it's really not that well thought out. It just makes the quadcopter just fly backwards. So it doesn't help with orientation or anything like that. If you lose orientation in your quadcopter whether you're in headless mode or not, if you push that one key return button, it's not going to help you at all, because if you're in headless mode, first of all, it's not going to work. And if you're not in headless mode, it's just going to fly backwards. Whichever way the back of it is facing, it's going to fly high speed that way. So a really useless function. We're going to go into headless mode now by pressing the video recording button. A long press on that puts it in headless. So now it's in headless. The headless mode works pretty well. And I found that you can even go to high rates and it doesn't flip anymore, but you're in headless. So if you like to see it pirouette really fast while you're in headless mode, you can do that. But the one key return doesn't work at all. So we're going to try that. So one key return did nothing. It's still in headless mode though. And we're going to come out of high rates. We're in mid rates now. So we're out of headless mode now. Maybe we're not. Okay, now we're out of headless mode. So back in mid rates now. Let's check its flipping now. Or did we check the flipping? I think we did check the flipping, but let's do some flipping until LVC. There's the LVC warning. So let's see how long it flies with the LVC warning. Okay, so this is the new JJ1000 flown with a H8C transmitter. It's a little modded. I just modded the sticks, that's all. I'm a thumb flyer. This is really comfortable for me. But here we are in low rates. Now look at the yaw rate. Still a fast yaw rate with this transmitter. So yeah, in low rates you can get a really fast yaw rate. Okay, so we went up again, a little more pitch, still the nice fast yaw rate. So we're at 75% now. The yaw rate stays the same, so pretty cool flying it with the H8C transmitter, or if you have a F180 transmitter, does the same thing. The yaw stays the same. So we're at a 100% pitch now with that nice yaw rate. Now with the WL Toys transmitter at 100% rates, the yaw might be a tiny bit faster than this. But this is the best option, I think, because the yaw rate stays constant throughout all the rates. So you can see, you can get some nice funnels with it. And the floppy funnel I did there. And a crash into the kid's bike. It's getting a little crowded in my storage room now, as the weather is starting to get a little warmer. Off and on, spring is here. So yeah, so a really even better flyer with this H8C transmitter. The pitch is so deep that it can't even stay up. It can't stop from descending when you're doing funnels so deep, so you have to sort of regulate the pitch so that it won't be too deep. And keep it just enough for you to keep height with your funnel. Nope. That's 2 crashes. Look at that. Accelerometer is time to re-level. The only bad thing I don't like is the flips with this transmitter. That one didn't go so bad though. But you have to remember to take it out of flip mode. Did you see that? Double flips with this thing. Trying to regulate the throttle at the same time as doing a flip causes that a lot. So that's about all the show of this with this H8C transmitter. And that's it for this review. The JJ1000 by JJRC. Thanks for watching.